proud sponsor on Replicon Radio. Shoot us an email to repliconiswatching@gmail.com. And if you also would like to plan a ghosting, if you're into that kind of thing.
Is that what they call it? Ghosting?
It's a it's a ghost hunt.
Or that's what your ex-girlfriend did. She ghosted you.
Right. Yeah, if you're into
Ghostbusters,
taking a ghosting, going out, hunting for them ghosts.
I'm afraid.
You ain't afraid of no ghosts?
Kind of afraid, actually.
I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'll shit my pants if I see something. But other than that, like, I'm not scared. But if you would like to, I know Halloween is right around the corner, and you can contact our friends at Haunted Souls Paranormal, Haunted Souls with a Z, paranormal.com. And you can book your ghosting with them guys and have a fantastic experience.
I can't wait to get ghosted.
I mean, I think it's going to be fun. I think
we're going to do it.
I know I'm jealous.
Spoiler alert.
I'm not going to be able to attend, but I'm excited to hear y'all's
he made us something.
I can't. We got real small when you turned it.
Tiny.
He did something for us.
What is that?
That's a sticker of us. Looks a little different than ours, but he did it
Cool.
as well.
Is that big?
I'm not sure how big it is.
Ooh.
Is it puffy?
I mean, it looks like it's about that long.
It's puffy.
Yeah, it looks puffy. Stuck in Michigan.
That may have came from a
What's the website again, Ro?
HauntedSoulsParanormal.com.
Wiggles, I'm not going to be able to go because I will be celebrating my anniversary in Texas. Going down to Dallas to see the original Misfits setup, lineup.
We haven't announced that yet. Not the Misfits, what we just said we were doing. I guess technically we did, but
yeah, you just did. But yeah, no, I would love to go, and we had spoken, Rue and I, off air, and I was like, hey, if you can change the date, then do it. If not, go without me, because I don't want them to miss out on it, especially given the time of year. That's so. Hopefully there'll be another opportunity, and I'm sure there will be.
That's when the hauntings happen.
Oh. But yeah, it just so happens to fall on, like, I found out about this literally, I think 2 days after we bought plane tickets, because we had just decided that we were doing it in between Replicon shows. And then that following Replicon show, Rue was like, hey, there's this thing going on. And I was like, fuck. Because we had just spent all our money. Well, not spent all our money, but bought the fucking plane tickets already. And the tickets to the show.
Which are probably expensive.
Very expensive because it's an amphitheater and we got good seat tickets.
Oh.
So, very expensive.
We're going to sit down.
We are going to sit down. It's going to be fucking great.
HauntedSoulsParanormal.com.
With a Z. One Z. One S, one Z.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
Oh, yeah. No, that was fucking hilarious. She
that was just an excuse for Tony not to go out of town again without her.
Oh, she is losing her mind over this fucking trip coming up. The fucking float. Ah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's freaking out.
You were gone for one night and I had a YouTube experience. Now you're going to be gone for
supposedly she was watching YouTube on the TV. It wasn't even up on her phone, like in recently used apps or anything like that. Like it wasn't even up. And she was sleeping and her phone was on the fucking floor. And it just turned on to a point in a ghost hunting video, which isn't out of the realm of, normality for her. But what woke her up was the phone saying, like somebody listening to an EVP going, the ghosts want you to know that they're here.
Yeah.
And she goes, excuse me, what? What?
I mean, to be fair, a bad ghost doesn't want you to know it's there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we don't really feel energies in the house there, because they redid everything.
Maybe it's like a family member that's like, why I'm watching over you.
Yeah.
I want you to know,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Because that's something like you know what I mean? Like your mom.
Well, she just had her dad come to her in her dreams.
So maybe
not too long ago.
Maybe it's him. I want you to know I'm here.
Well, yeah. I mean, it wasn't a very nice coming to in her dream though. So like, hopefully he's like, hey, I'm sorry, my bad, came out a little strong.
I just want you to know that I'm here.
Yeah.
See, that was the answer to that.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I'm just because you know what I mean. Communication is probably not that easy.
No, it's definitely difficult.
Like, you know what? I can just turn your phone on, and the phone will. I just want you
and
to.
It'll tell you right there. Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So more things coming from
Haunted Souls. My wife would like to go
for sure. Shout out to Haunted Souls Paranormal. Yeah. I'll have to get like a graphic from you or something. We should have done that. But
you're gonna have to make a flyer for it.
Get a graphic. Put a graphic up.
Yeah.
Put a flyer up. I'm excited to check that out.
I got a business card.
Go to take a picture of it and put it up on the fucking screen.
Yeah, that's kind of all he gave me. That's kind of that, and he gave me the sticker on the table.
I need a digital.
I can steal it off the website.
Yeah.
I'm excited to check it out and learn more about what we're doing. Hopefully, talk about it later.
Yeah, no, it'll be a good time for sure.
More details on that coming soon, but you guys should go check it out.
Yep.
Well, we're going to check it out too, and we'll tell you about it later.
Yeah, I think it'll be something fun for us to do. May scare the fucking shit out of me. May scare the shit out of P.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, when we do it, I know we haven't worked out all the details yet, but that was the thing, is I will be. If something goes down or even pretends to go down, I'm going to be scared out of my mind, which is why we need to bring a couple friends with us, a.k.a. cameramen. So they
I did email it, or I did message him and asked him.
So they can record us reacting instead of us just recording.
Trying to, instead of us recording what we're seeing.
Like a real vlog.
Yeah.
Or there's cameramen behind the scenes watching us, because we're the celebrities here.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
We're the celebrities.
I like to think
world,
so.
At least in our own world.
Yeah.
To the 990,000 people that tuned in to last week's episode, we're the celebrities here.
And then, from my understanding,
to the one
they watched us
YouTube
film ourselves on stage. Yeah, with all the lights. Yep.
Did
all of the lights.
we talked about where it was going to be at, didn't I?
Somewhere in Alton.
You told us that, but we haven't talked about it publicly.
Oh, okay.
But that's all you said was the
Does it need to be secretive?
No, I don't think so. It's just something we didn't talk about yet.
No, and I mean we can't.
Well, it wasn't solidified in, I don't think, last week, was it? Like, it was still kind of up in there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's going to be at the same place that they're doing it now.
We're going to go out there. We're going to get scared. Hopefully, we might broadcast. If we don't broadcast, we're going to record stuff. And we're going to get scared. We're going to share it with you. And it's going to be scary. Probably funny, since you're not there and you get to watch us.
It's going to be hilarious.
Being scared.
I'm so excited to hear you guys talk about it.
I'm going to have to bring a change of pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be the... if I remember correctly, it was the Mineral Springs Hotel.
And we're staying. Yeah, we're sleeping there.
Sleeping.
Well,
staying the night. Well, we're going to be there.
We're staying there overnight.
Yeah,
I don't know if we're sleeping.
Yeah.
I'm going to be drunk
and
crying in the corner in the fetal position.
And I'm going to shout out to Haunted Souls Paranormal. They're listening right now.
What was the name of the place?
Mineral Springs Hotel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I mean... If I see something, I might shit my pants, or I might be like, "What the fuck?"
Guys, I've been saving this all night.
I mean, I don't know. I've never seen anything go down, but things have happened to me and I didn't kind of really think of it, except for only really one, and it could have been just a coincidence. I don't know, because.
Nothing like the Grape Joe, Mr. Pain scenario.
I don't even know about that.
Yeah, I like
stuff going down.
I've never actually seen something happen, I guess, if you will, except for the time when I was in my apartment and heard footsteps and then the chair moving a little bit.
They said a change of clothes will not be provided.
No, I will bring those.
Yeah, I'm bringing them. Possibly a little secret stash of Depends.
Yeah.
Shh, don't tell nobody.
Oh, yeah, it's a secret.
Right.
I'm hyped for it, man. I'm hyped.
I am
something
too,
different
man.
for us, something cool.
Yeah, and it's something that, like, I mean, I guess it's something that I've kind of been into. Like, I always wanted to go, like, to these haunted places and just kind of walk around to see if they're actually haunted, or go into, like, old structured buildings and just kind of, like, walk around to see what's in there. Mm-hmm. But never had like other people that wanted to join the ride and go with and go.
You always have other people that want to jump in and join the ride.
And I always
right here at your disposal, baby.
And I always seem to, like, I don't know, like, I'm afraid of the law. Like, I don't want to get fucking locked up for something fucking stupid or trespassing or whatnot. But I definitely want to try to. I'm too fat to fucking sneak in.
Did you ever
anywhere.
go? I didn't know we were gonna get on this subject, but did you ever go with us back in the day to fucking Chesterfield Manor?
I went once.
Did you go with us once?
And I didn't go
or did
again.
You just go? I mean, that place scared the fuck out of me.
Yeah, I wasn't.
I went there multiple times. I only actually went in the building twice.
I didn't go in at all.
But I went with a group of people, and every other time I just waited in the car in the fucking subdivision while they like creep through the fucking thing and
for shit to go down and watch.
Well, just because I was like, I didn't want to stay at the house alone either. I was either stay at the crib by yourself or fucking wait in the car there. I'm like, them fucking ghosts will come find me here. They know where the fuck you live.
You're gonna be the first one to die.
Yeah,
you die off screen. They come back and find you.
Yeah. So I'm like, no, I'm good. But fuck that place, man. That place was scary as fuck. And that was the last time I ever did any sort of haunted thing. But I have all kinds of crazy stories when we were kids. Fucking Ouija board, shit turning on, fucking friends getting possessed. Fuck that shit. I know that shit's real. That's why I don't fuck with it. Mm-hmm. But here we are for
with it.
For people. for literally, I said, as soon as he said, I was like, I'm going to be fucking scared out of my mind. But fuck yeah, we're going to do it if we're recording it.
Oh, I'm so jealous,
this is for the people to watch me fucking freak out. How many people, especially in the beginning of this fucking Replicon radio, we're like, would love to watch Freaky Pete cry. You know what I'm saying?
Probably gonna happen.
I know that. So here's your fucking chance. This could be the opportunity. Whenever this shit gets done, y'all might have the opportunity to see
What's that?
And you might see me leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might see an actual fight between me and God knows what. Could be me and Rue.
Right?
Because Rue will be like, no, you ain't leaving, bro. We're doing because there gets to a point where I'm like,
Or
I ain't staying in here.
Pete would be like, why you doing that, Rue? And I'm like, I ain't doing shit, bro. Yeah. No, it was all you. You're like, why you fucking with me? I'm like, I ain't fucking with you. And then they'll pull my hair, and then we'll be fighting.
That'll happen. Watch them ads.
And we will have them guys on the show and tell us more about what they do as we get closer to our date of going.
Oh, that's before I was even going to tell you that. When we were out of town, we stopped at like comic shops and shit. And we stopped at this toy shop, and they had fucking proton packs, man. And I was like, man, I'm about to buy me one of these proton.
I'm gonna need it when we go.
Right? Like, what do we get? It's a little expensive and a little small.
How much were they? Out of curiosity,
too much.
Like over 100.
They were small. It was like a kid's toy from back in the day. It wasn't even like. I think it was like $75 though, and it was like for a kid.
Okay.
I was like, no.
We could have made it work. We could have made extra long straps.
I'd rather get like a decenter looking one.
Right, like the ones at Astro.
Yeah. Those would be fire.
Yeah.
But for anybody tuned in earlier, you saw our fire ass beat it jackets for the Corey Feldman show. So
fuck yeah.
I'm not.
Right.
One would just.
I'd not be dazzling anything for the float.
One wouldn't believe that there could be a fucking Ghostbusters uniform in my very near future.
Right, Ghostbuster jackets at least.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna. The company where we get most of our sublimated items from have been pressuring me to buy
other stuff.
Well, to buy a what's it called? A men's jumper. They're like, these are very popular, very popular.
Like, a romper or whatever?
Yeah, romper.
A romper, like a one-piece romper.
It's a fucking
romper. I'm like, no, why would I ever need that? And now I'm like,
now you know what? You might need
We need Ghostbusting rompers, obviously.
That's true.
Replicon busters.
With the fucking, the tan, whatever, the name tag.
We need them Dino Busters.
That's right. So who knows? There's some stuff. We tell you. We always tell you we're always doing something, fam. You never know what we're doing. We don't even know what the fuck we're doing. We just do it.
Hell yeah. And another thing, like, I mean, I don't really know too much about their business, but how they did get started is they're friends of mine, But they actually went out to the state penitentiary and did a little a tour out there, an overnight tour, and they've got pictures and seen some stuff and got into it from there and was like, you know what? Let's start our own. And they went out and they spent a lot of money on equipment and whatnot, and they're not phony people. They're legit. They have all the equipment. As far as I know, you don't need nothing. Just show up and they will guide you through everything.
Wow.
Yeah, they have. I
wonder how they make money on that, other than selling the tours, like before that part, like before they had the tours and all that shit. Like, wonder how they made money, doing that.
I mean, they have the equipment. And they'll provide some and show you how to work it, so you will actually be hands on with the equipment as well.
You get your own proton pack.
Holy shit! Can we catch ghosts?
Yeah,
I don't want to catch them in the trap.
And they'll show you. You know, they'll guide you through and whatnot.
I hope they hide in the house and scare us.
I don't think they do.
Like, they just come out like, ha ha, wrong door, bitch.
Yeah. Or they got the little trap windows, like the haunted houses.
Oh, they just slam
things
the
always
doors.
scare me.
Yeah.
I mean,
trap windows.
oh yeah. Yeah, but we will definitely have them on, and they'll explain more about the company and how they got started and whatnot. But
Ooh, it's time for the witching hour. I'm excited.
hell yeah.
We'll talk more about that later because we got a headline of this episode to speak on. So while me and Mr. Body Man, aka Tony, we're in Indiana hanging out with fucking Corey Feldman and his wife and buying comic books and having a fucking bloody good time, Big Roo somehow ended up in Louisville, Kentucky. Went to a few distilleries. Went to 4 distilleries and a winery. Are you an official slugger now?
Ooh, did you have a slug?
I mean, I've always been a pro slugger.
Is that right?
I mean, it depends on what we're talking about.
Louisville slugger.
No, I don't get bats made from. Well, I do get bats made there, but they're already made, and I just get them custom. I have 1, 2. I have 2 bats from there. One's custom.
Is anyone going to preach? I don't know when that is, and probably not.
1, 2.
That is actually September 17th, and I am not going. I have prior plans.
I think
and I won't be able to make it.
Can I set up a merch booth there?
I would love to go.
Probably. I think Grace or whatever, Chris is going to be there.
Give me a ride. Come and pick me up.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, you were in Louisville. You went down there with some your fancy friends who won't ghost hunt with you, and you hung out at distilleries. Is that what happened?
I went to.
We got drunk and in a fight.
4 distilleries. The first one we went to was Brandstown, I believe is what it was.
Branson,
which was
Brownstown.
A more upscale, new-aged distillery.
what does that mean? Upscale, new age.
Was this a craft brewery?
It was a craft
They're
distillery.
like fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was real fancy.
It's all vegan whiskey.
It's new.
Yeah.
It's organic vegan whiskey with no GMOs.
Yeah. We make it from tree roots.
Gluten free.
They're new, but they do work with like 30 plus other like companies.
Do they twirl their mustaches while they talk to you?
They do work with like Jim Beam.
They said they do.
And Wild Turkey and other distilleries as well.
Was anyone wearing a monocle or a top hat?
No, they were all dressed like you and I. Well, they were dressed more like me.
If I owned a distillery, I might.
Me and Dead Body Man on like a normal day. I would say you, but you're dressed in all Replicon radio gear from head to toe, and
pajama.
they were not.
Yeah.
So they weren't very fashionable for such an upscale. That's what I'm saying. They were wearing dirty. Hold on. So you're telling me they were wearing dirty jorts and a bowling t-shirt?
Dirty jorts. Who wears dirty jorts?
I think he's looking at you.
I mean, I wear khaki shorts normally on it if I'm wearing.
They're not jorts, man. It's a tan.
They're shorts, and they happen just to be long. I mean, because I'm big.
I have Dickies on right now.
You're a dick.
I mean, mine are usually.
You don't wear them
Dickies
jeans?
that I
You don't
wear.
wear them jorts all the time? I feel like you wear them jorts
That
all
was
the
a
time.
long time ago. Those things
Yeah,
were.
yeah.
Well, that was the last time I looked at your bottom.
No, it's been like
no, it wasn't.
it wasn't.
You
the
be
last
looking
time.
at that bottom all the time, fam.
You do. And it kind of scares me.
Mr. Paint gonna paint that bottom. All right, tell me more about your distillery adventures.
So this place was actually pretty cool. It was.
Because the title's pretty deceiving so far.
Well, yeah.
It does say maybe.
I mean, you just want me to fast forward through everything and just
No,
tell you about
but-
the one distillery?
The good
No,
part. Yeah.
no, I want
Fast
you to
forward to
fill
all
the
the good
next
parts.
27 minutes.
I mean, I kind of it goes along with catching up to all that.
Yeah.
Well, let's-
P, why don't you listen?
I mean, I can just take 2 seconds to tell you what happened, and then
I don't want that.
Then we can figure
Let's
out
do
what
it.
else we're going to talk.
I don't
about.
want that.
Tell me more.
I've already had one
Tell me
panic attack
more.
on the stage this week. I don't need another.
All right. I mean, we can sit in silence for the last 20 minutes if you like.
Just listen
Which
to
was-
us all heavy breathe into the mics.
Which actually was pretty cool. Was they did give us a glass after the tour, so I thought that was kind of cool. Did not care for their whiskey. It was wasn't bad, but it just wasn't. I like more of a real smoky flavored whiskey, and this was not.
I'm the same way.
Unsmoked.
I like to smoke.
This is grilled whiskey.
But it was very knowledgeable, and they had a lot of like new machinery in there. Is why I say, as far as like being more upscale, they had like all the new equipment in there. They didn't have the copper stills; they had steel. So it kind of takes that. To me, it takes the flavor out, but that's just me. Then we went to the. Oh, why the fuck am I gonna forget this one? Something Hill, fucking
Rock Hill.
No.
Turkey.
Anyways, the Hill. We'll just call it the Hill. I'm not very good.
Oh, it's that place with them Italians and their pasta?
But this place, they make the Larceny. They make Elijah Craig. They make
Craig!
Oh, the prices at the first one, I didn't even bother buying a bottle. They were fucking. They had this.
You didn't like it. Why would you buy a bottle?
Well, they had others there. They had this like Kentucky Owl, and that was like $300 for a fucking bottle. And I was like, ain't happening.
Get the fuck out of here.
No, I did buy a $10 cigar from them that I have not smoked. It's an Alec Bradley, so it should be decent.
Yeah, I heard the Alec
I'll
Baldwin
see.
ones are good too.
Alec Bradley.
Yeah.
Heaven Hill.
Heaven Hill, yes. This place was actually really cool. The tour was
3 hours.
right. It was very neat. We went to the Rick Houses, which is the Rick Houses. They call it Rick House. I don't know why. I asked the lady why they call it a Rick House, because at this point we heard Rick Houses 1,000 times. I'm like, well, what makes it a fucking Rick House?
That's where Rick used to live.
But
Rick.
that's where they keep all the barrels,
They call him Rick.
and that's
the
how
Dick.
they age. That's how they keep them in these Rick Houses to age over time.
There used to be a brick house.
I don't know. Maybe Rick was the guy who made them.
I'm sure Rick.
She's
Rick
a
was
brick.
part.
I don't know.
House.
But they couldn't call it that because it was copyright.
She's mighty, mighty.
So it was just like Rick's
Letting them all hang
house.
out.
That's where the barrels do the things. Something that rhymes with that. I don't know what the word is. House.
Turns a barrel.
Colin
But,
Farrell.
But yeah, they actually had a lot of good stuff. Kingfish right across. Where the fuck is Kingfish?
I don't know. That comment was a long time ago.
Well, I just got in here.
It's like Bass Pro. No, I'm thinking. It's like the Bass Pro thing, right? Isn't that what that is? Isn't that the big Bass Pro? No, it's Memphis.
That's Memphis.
The big Bass Pro pyramid
Memphis?
deal.
Oh, I don't know. But yeah, so that place was actually pretty good, and I actually bought a bottle. It was
I got farted.
called Five Brothers, because there was 5 brothers that
You've been
actually
saving it all
started
day.
this distillery.
Rick was one of them.
And nope, unfortunately, no. It
What a
was,
dick.
It was not Rick. But they actually had
I'm Jeff Nibble. And I'm Jimbo Jism.
the Heaven Hill was actually a guy's last name, and it was all put together as one word. So when the brothers actually turned this into their distillery, and this guy was one to help them out, like huge, like he taught them everything they knew how to distill whiskey and bourbon. So
Heaven Hill.
they
did.
wanted to keep his name intact with their company. His dude passed away, and so they wanted to carry.
Oh, they
his
combined the name. You know, that's real original, like Anheuser-Busch.
So back in the day, they made the name change to Heaven Hill. Well, they screwed the liquor control or whatever screwed up, and they spaced out Heaven and Hill. So the brothers went back and said, "This ain't right. We need to put it as one word." And they said, "Oh, for another $10, you can put it in as one word. We can take that space out." And they're like, "Well, you messed up. This is what we wanted." Well, the paperwork's done. It'd have to cost you another $10 to redo all the paperwork to put it down to one name. Well, they said, well, they all got together and said, well, fuck that. We ain't paying another $10. After they already invested like $17,000, and then they had other investors, and then they bought the investors out for like $20,000 after that. So then they wanted to put this guy's name on it. For $10, they get the space taken out because they fucked up or whatever, which they should have honored that. But back in the day, I guess they said, fuck you, it don't matter. So the brothers got together and they said, no, we're not doing that. For $10, fuck it. We're not going to do it. So that's how you got the space in Heaven Hill. So I thought that was there was a little bit more to the backstory of that, and I thought it was very entertaining.
That's what that movie Four Brothers is based off of?
No.
Yeah,
Mark
I think
Wahlberg?
so. Yeah.
But Four Brothers whiskey, you can only get it at the distillery.
Yeah.
That's where he masturbates on the roof.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
But yeah, you can only get it at the distillery. So I was like, well, shit, I'll pick up a bottle.
For $300?
It was $80, and I was like, ooh, that's pretty steep.
Oof.
But I'll pick it up.
I don't like Heaven or Hell that much. Damn.
Then the third one we go
Too bad they don't have double-sided bottles. You can choose between Heaven or Hell.
So
yeah,
it's Heaven Hill.
I know.
I know, but it'd be way cooler if it was Heaven Hell.
Right.
Then the second one, or the third one we went to, we had a little time in between, so we were all hungry. We were like, fuck, let's go find somewhere to eat. So as we're driving to the distillery, this one, we were like, well, let's go. We found a corner, what was it? It was called Corner Pub. I'm like, oh, shit, well, that sounds like it'd have some good fucking food, right? So we passed up, it was just a little bit past the distillery, like 5 minutes. So we passed the distillery we were going to, which was Log Still. So we passed that up, and we're like in Boontown. Like, I have no idea. Like, there's nothing around us. There's all these like broken down houses and shacks. Like, nobody's living there. So we finally get to this fucking restaurant. Closed down, looked like an old biker's bar. Shit's just trashed outside. There's a fucking there's a shack on the side of this building and a bunch of cars and like a bus. And it says Corner Pub. Nobody's there. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So we have no idea. There's nothing around where we can go eat at. This was the only place.
I feel this pain. We had this pain in Indiana.
So we're kind of like, where the fuck do we go? Where the fuck do we go? We're like, fuck it. We go back to this little gas station that we passed. And one guy has his old beat up truck pumping gas, and it looks like some dude straight from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, I'm like, what the fuck?
That boy drove straight out a wrong turn.
Well, yeah, no, for real. Like, this shit is getting all fucking, like, I'm like, what the fuck?
You know they had some good sandwiches in there, though.
And, well, I was like, well, you
ain't
guys...
been refrigerated in a week.
I'm like, you guys go in and see if they got anything, and then I'll wait. And I'm like, well, fuck it. I'll just go in and see. Well, they had this little kitchen in this little ass gas station. Mm-hmm. And there was 2 girls working, and they looked like they might have been like the...
they were the tens of the town?
They might have been like relatives related.
Okay.
If you will.
Oh, okay.
Not that, I mean, they weren't like extreme. Like, they were just like, I don't know. They looked a little young to be working in a little gas station by themselves.
Oh, I thought you meant they looked inbred.
Maybe. Could have been. I don't know what those people really look like, other than the guy maybe pumping gas could have looked like that. But they were real nice people inside. They're just the 2 gals. We go in there. And they got this little grill, so we're like, fuck it, dude. Let's just eat something here, and then we'll go to the distillery. So as we order our food, we sit down at this tiny little table. They got a couple tables set up. And here comes old boy straight from a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, another one. Dude already pumped his gas and left. We're the only ones in there with this guy. They had chicken in the little display thing, and the dude goes up and he's like, "I'll take some chicken and fries," like real like scary kind of. And I'm like, "Oh fuck, here we go." I said, "It's all starting here." And we were all like kind of joking, like we're in fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like if we are not making it out of this fucking gas station, and we're sitting there, and the chicken just looked fucking like it wasn't even cooked.
If they tell you to go down and then you don't listen to the GPS, if they tell you not to listen to the GPS, don't listen to them.
Right.
The GPS will take you down this way, but I know a way that's 15 minutes faster if you go this way on this road.
Yeah, no, this dude. I'll take the chicken and the fries. I'm like, oh fuck. So we're all kind of like just sitting there, like this guy's gonna like talk to us, try to like, I don't even know, but he ate his chicken and he sat there for a minute. Then he gets up, walking towards the door. He turns around, just kind of like stares at us a minute. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And he turned around, walked out, and I'm like,
that'll do.
I wonder if the car's there. We finally get our food, and we're like, fuck. Is the car gonna be there? Is it gonna be okay when we leave here?
It's missing a distributor cap.
Even on right now.
Fucking missing a starter wire.
Then the girls that were working, they take off. They went outside.
Hell yeah, smoke break.
And we're the only motherfuckers in there.
Yeah.
And we're like,
the fuck you gonna do?
I'm like, is this the part where somebody comes out of one of these fucking millions of doors that they have here that are locked that are gonna
those are called
kill us?
Those are called coolers, Rue. They have them here too.
No. These were doors that weren't connected to the cooler. I seen the cooler door. That one was open. That one was open and baiting me to go in there and get something. Yeah. So we're like, all right, well, we're finished. We already paid, so it wasn't a big deal. But like, we go outside. These girls are nowhere to be found. Like, well, all right, well, fuck, I guess we'll get in the car and fucking leave. And then all of a sudden they came, I guess one came from one side of the building and the other one came like across the fucking street somewhere. Oh, you guys leaving? Have a good one. I'm like, holy fuck, you scared the shit out of me. So I got in the car and I punched it, dude. I was like, fuck this, I'm out of here. So we go to the distillery. Now, we're on the Bourbon Trail.
All right.
So, we're hitting distilleries that are on the Bourbon Trail.
All right.
Makes sense that every place we would go would have bourbon, correct? So,
if it's advertised on the trail, yeah.
So we get to the Log Still. Very nice place. Very nice property that sits on. All these distilleries sit on fucking acres of fucking ground.
Oh, yeah. Very
nice place. And it looks like it's upcoming. Doesn't look like it's been there long. We go in. Well, we got yelled at because they got like this big amphitheater set up on their property, and they do concerts and shit. And I don't remember the guy that was there, but we were kind of just out, kind of like looking before we went in because we had just heard music playing. Dude was doing sound check, so we're like, "What the fuck is going on?" And immediately, as soon as we like go to the railing, which is like 5 feet from the door we're going in, dude comes out and says, "You guys got to get in here right now. You guys can't be out here." I'm like, bro, we just walked the fuck up. Calm down. That's what I told him.
Yeah.
I said, just calm the fuck down, dude. We just walked up.
Yeah. What?
I said, we're here for a tour. Well, you guys can't be out here. He's doing a sound check. That's part of the contract. I said, I don't give a fuck what his contract is. I didn't know that.
It's like, I just parked the damn car.
I said, we literally just walked up. Cool. You could be a little nicer about it. Hey, man, you might mind coming in. This guy, we got him performing and the contract, whatever. I don't even give a shit about that.
No lollygagging out here.
Don't be a fucking dick.
There's no re-entry, guys.
So I'm like, I didn't get too ignorant with the dude, but I was like, whatever. And we went in. I sit down at the bar. It's a horseshoe-shaped bar, enough for like 12 people. And the dude that yelled at us was sitting down, I guess, with his girlfriend or somebody, a girl that worked there, whatever. And there was a barmaid and a guy bartender as well. So we sit down, and I noticed 3 bottles sitting in front of me. And I read them. One's a gin, one's a dry gin, and the other one's a bourbon.
I thought you were going to say one's a ketchup, one's an A1, one's a bourbon.
And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, they got to have more, like 1 bottle of whiskey on the bourbon? No, this can't be. That can't be what we're tasting.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there. It's supposed to be a tour and a tasting. So you take the tour, then you taste.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there, and the lady gets everything set up. The lady and the guy, they set everything up for all of us. I think there was 8 of us all together doing this one at this particular time. So we sit down. Well, I was already seated. We all gathered our seats and they poured our testings in front of us already. And the gal starts talking, and and the first one, she's like, oh, well, we have this gin here. If you guys want to try, for you to try, this is the first gin that you're going to try, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't like gin. I'm not a gin drinker. And I heard the dude next to me, he's like, I'm not a fucking gin drinker. What the fuck? And then his girlfriend that was sitting next to him was like, yeah, no, we are bourbon drinkers. We're on a bourbon tour.
Yeah.
And like you see all the other 8 people it was 8 people in our group. All the other 8 people are like, what the fuck is going on here? But we were like, fuck it. We tried it, whatever. She's like, what'd you think of that? And I'm like,
was it bourbon?
I can definitely taste the lime and the fucking lemon in it. Don't taste like bourbon. She's like, well, that's the gin.
Yeah.
I'm like, clearly. So then as she goes on to tell us about the second gin, the second one, Wally is the guy that owns the joint. I don't remember this other bitch's name, but she is one that actually does. She's like a chemist that mixes the liquor. I can't remember what the fuck she called her, but
the mixologist, a beer or whatever.
That's what I call it, but that's wrong apparently.
Well, yeah, because a mixologist is the one that like puts all the
like
cocktails
the
together.
Yeah. So like the owner and this chick and like they're partners, and then there's a third guy, but the third guy wasn't there, but. This gal and the owner was there with some family, with their family, with some of their family, I guess.
Yeah.
So the family and the gal were gone, and then here comes this Wally guy, and this fucking gal was telling us all this shit. She was so obsessed with fucking Wally, it was amazing. Like you sucked him off a time or two, I guarantee it. Mm. She's like, oh, look, here comes Wally. Hopefully he'll come in here and talk to us. And I'm like, who gives a fuck about Wally? We're here to learn about his shit.
I would like the beer.
I'm like, we're here to learn about him. I don't care to meet him. I want to learn about his product first.
Yeah.
So Wally comes in, and she stopped everything to say hi to fucking Wally. And Wally's like, I'm going to be around for a while if you guys wanted me to sign a bottle or anything. And we're like, okay, cool, bro. Like, we want to learn about your product. Then he asked where the little gal went, the mixologist gal. So she's like, oh, they went to the brick house or whatever, or the Rick house.
The Rick's house.
The Rick's house, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm
one of the 4 brothers.
There.
Yeah, yeah.
So then she goes ahead and starts telling us about this second gin. And I'm like, you guys are probably, I was like, you guys are part of the Bourbon Trail, but you got 2 gins and 1 bourbon. She's like, well, Wally likes his gin, and what Wally likes, or what Wally wants, Wally gets. I'm like, oh, so you guys are just making gin with 1 bourbon because this is what this guy likes? Yep, what Wally likes, Wally gets. Whatever he wants, that's what happens. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Just ignore that. All right, cool, whatever. So then she starts telling us about the bourbon, the 1 bourbon that they have. Here comes the Wally, here comes the fucking gal, and here comes all the family.
1 Wally.
They all come in the room that we're all trying to, it's just right in the open.
2 gins.
So we're all sitting here trying to listen to this gal talk. They're over in the fucking corner just not even trying to be quiet. They're just talking. We can barely hear what the fucking gal's telling us in front of us.
You guys paid for this experience,
yes.
correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So I'm sitting there, and we were there with
Which is probably how Wally makes his money.
Clearly, and I'll get to that here in a minute. And we're just kind of sitting there, and I'm like, normally, in a situation like that, I'd be like, excuse me, could you guys be quiet? We're trying to learn about your product first off.
Shut the fuck up. I want to hear what you have to say.
You guys are just coming in here being fucking ignorant. Shut the fuck up. Normally, I would be like that. But there was a couple that we were with, and I've never really hung out with them a whole lot. And I'm like, how do I do this without being ignorant? And I'm like, you know what? It's just easier not to say anything. Don't say nothing. So I didn't say shit. I was like, motherfucker.
Let it go.
I'm like, fuck it. I ain't saying nothing because I don't need them thinking I'm an asshole for fucking saying something.
Oh, that's a crap.
When we got done, when we got done, we walked around. They had a gift shop and this and that. And I'm like, well, fuck it. I bought a glass from every distillery that we went to, at least as a memory. If I wasn't buying a bottle, I bought a glass. So I'm like, fuck, I'll look for, went upstairs. They told me the gift shop was upstairs. I go upstairs. I'm like, no glasses. What the fuck? So I asked the barmaid, I'm like, where the fuck are your glasses at? Don't you guys sell glasses? Like, yeah, they're over here. And there was a little corner shelf. And I'm like, oh, cool, okay. So we're standing around. Nobody bought a bottle except for one fucking guy.
Bottle of gin.
Actually, he bought the bottle of bourbon and had Mr. Celebrity Wally sign it. And as he signed the bottle, he's standing around with his pen like, anybody else? And nobody bought a fucking bottle but one guy. And I believe that was out of pity.
Now, did he walk over to Mr. Wally, or did Wally walk over to him and go, here, I'll sign that for you?
He did walk over to Mr. Wally and get it signed. Now, they were staying on the property, so I'm assuming it was friends or somebody's friends of friends that knew him, if it wasn't friends of theirs, because they stayed on the property. They had like, I don't know, 8 different 8 houses that you could stay.
This is Wally's property.
Yeah.
Right.
And the historic
What's
part.
the name of this place? Is it called
Wally's?
Logsdale.
Wally's Log.
Wally Logsdale?
And then so the gin, and the bourbon, they're all 3 named Monk. M-O-N-K.
Makes sense, yeah.
Now I'm figuring you would have a different fucking
Who are
name.
all named the same?
Yeah. Yeah, Clear Monk, Dark Monk.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't think of it, didn't think of the name. Then the one guy asked, how long has this bourbon been out? Because I could have swore I tried it in like 2019 or something. He was somewhere. And the gal didn't know and turns to Wally. And Wally just kind of like froze, like, you fucking kidding me? You don't know? He's like, it's been out for about a year. And he's like, oh, I could have swore I tried it somewhere else. Is the name new maybe? Or did I try something from somebody else or something? Basically called the motherfucker on. He's like, oh no, we had that around. It came out in 2021. It's been out for a little over a year maybe. So I don't know, you might be talking about something else. So the dude was like, oh, okay, whatever. And I'm like, damn, you straight called Wally out. That's fucking awesome right there. That makes me feel good about not telling him to shut the fuck up, because you pretty much just did right there by telling him that his shit's been out longer than he telling you.
Mm-hmm. Sir, I know your history better than you.
And so I bought a glass, and I just fucking lied. I was like, let's get the fuck out of here and leave. And everybody's like, yeah, let's go. So on our way out, we were in the parking lot, and I was like, look, if you guys weren't there, it probably would have gotten real bad. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, because of you guys, I kept my mouth shut. Normally, I'd have told them to shut the fuck up, that we're trying to learn about their shit, and we can't do that with them sitting here fucking talking. And they're like, yeah, no, it was really rude of them, and I wish you would have, because we are not the people to say something like that to somebody. But if you are, good for you, and you should have. And I guarantee everybody would have applauded you, because when they were talking, everybody's face was like, shut the fuck up. And I'm like, oh, you tell me that now, so we could have had some fun with it. But I was like, no, because of you guys, you guys don't know me. I don't really know you guys 100%. So
I can pull him up. Is that the Wally?
That's Wally.
That's Wally.
Yeah, I got him. That's Wally at Logs.
Yeah, Wally pulled up on the screen. We call him founder. Fearless leader, foreman.
yeah, it was actually really.
I didn't expect him to look like that.
He looks like what's his?
Did you find him?
Yeah, he's on the fucking
that's
screen.
why you said long still. Well, my shit ain't changed over yet.
Oh, who's that? He looks like that one country singer.
That's him. But he does not look like that anymore, or at this time. The mustache and the wet beard is gone, if you want to call that a beard. It's gone, and he looks a little older. And we had to hear all about he was at a golf charity event that he was at, and we had to hear all about that.
So your biggest issue with this place is that they only had one bourbon and they didn't know their own history.
You're correct, and they were being
arrogance,
and the ignorance of them being in the middle of us learning about their shit and being ignorant and disruptive.
Well, they sounded excited, and you just took it like, "Hey, I'm here to learn."
Who sounded excited?
Yeah, like you, they sounded excited that you were there. They wanted to be like, "Hey, how you guys doing? And having a good time?" Blah,
of course,
blah, blah.
they were excited. They were like, "Oh my God, 8 people fell for us being on the bourbon trail when we have to offer is gin and this little bottle of bourbon."
And you hear Rue down at the end of the bar
And you
going,
fuckers fell
"Hey,
for it."
teacher, you forgot to give us homework."
Oh no! Because she started out like the history part of their distillery was actually very intriguing and very interesting, and I wanted to hear it.
Yeah,
and then I got these people sitting here talking.
These
in the
people
background.
being Willie and the lady talking.
Correct.
To you? Okay.
No, they weren't talking to us. They were just talking in their group, and it was so loud. They were hackling and giggling, and there was women, there was men, and they were just. Blah, 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 blah,
Yeah, I
blah,
probably would have said something to the lady, be like, "Hey, yo, can you tell her to go shut the fuck up?"
They have Monk's Road, and then they also have...
Yeah, Monk's Road is what it is.
They also have Rattle and Snap Tennessee whiskey.
No, they don't have that there.
Well, apparently they do.
They're all called Monk's Road.
Yeah, I saw those, but then they also have something called Rattle and Snap
No,
whiskey.
nope. They did not have that for purchase.
Well, according to the internet, they do.
They had shirts with that on it, though. I seen that. But
Well,
they didn't have any of that bourbon to try. That's for sure.
Well, from the names and how he's running it and all that stuff, it looks like Mr. Kenny Loggins over there did a little bit of drugs back in the day, and he's just like, "Fuck it, we're just gonna
Kenny Loggins.
we're just gonna fucking call this Monk Rocky Road."
And then,
We can't call it that. We call it Monk Road.
So how did you get thrown out?
I didn't, but I almost did because I was being ignorant, kind of.
I thought you were just being ignorant in your head.
I was. I told you that. Like I could have gotten kicked out of this motherfucker had I.
The thought went through his head.
Had I been myself and not on my best behavior, I could have gotten. I probably would have went.
You were
to
thrown
jail.
out of there.
Bro, I thought in my head if I'm gonna punch this dude in the mouth, but I didn't. So I could have.
No, they were just being an asshole, and I was actually gonna say something, and I talked myself out of it.
Lana, it's Kenny fucking Loggins.
But we were laughing and cracking up, and I thought I was going to get kicked out before the fucking tour started when I went off on the guy that was fucking trying to kick us out or tell us get our asses in that we couldn't be.
That guy was a dick.
Rattle and Snap coming soon.
Oh, is it coming soon? Well, see, that would have been something to learn about if they would have fucking talked about it.
It's like you see this bottle right here. We make our own water, sir. That says Dasani. No, we brewed it here.
Distillery.
Right, yeah. Monk's Road,
Distillery,
that's
not
what it was.
Dasani.
And actually, once they sell out of Monk's Road, the bourbon, that's it. That's no more. They're not going to run it again.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the fuck they're going to have next.
The gin and juice.
Oh, what I do?
By Kenny Loggins.
Rattle and Snap.
Snap, rattle, and pop.
Snap, rattle,
So we could have done without that one. Then we went to the preservation. Went to preservation, which this one is actually owned by a female.
Ooh.
Which this was the only distillery that was owned by a woman. I think it still might be the only one. She came from a wine background. Her family grew up in a winery. Her family owned a winery, and she grew up learning about wine, and she actually wanted to expand outside of that and do bourbon, and she had no idea what the fuck was going on with bourbon until she decided to do it all on her own. Learned a lot. She used a different barrel than an oak barrel.
She started from the bottom with all that family money she had.
Was it a whole winery?
It should have been.
But no, actually, she did. She actually did not have any money from the family. The family did not help. She didn't want any help from the family. She wanted to do this on her own.
So she took a loan.
I'm not necessarily
should have asked her
saying
finances.
she took a loan, but she took money that she had saved from working and actually started this distillery, and now she owns like 900 acres and has the distillery all in one barn, and it was
that sounds like a pretty bad use of land.
It was actually very fun to go through this. That she also has I forgot how many steers or how many longhorns she has on the property.
I wonder if Willie came over and gave her a rundown of how the business
But
works.
I also didn't know that cows can have horns, whether female or male.
Yep.
And the only cow that can do that are Longhorns.
Steakhouse.
They're the only ones that have female and male with horns.
Yep.
So cow, you think
So that
cows are
was-
trans?
So that was actually a useful piece of knowledge that we
The more
gathered
you know.
while we were there.
See, that is neat. That
Gender
is.
fluid. Gender
And then
fluid
we
cows.
also learned that each Longhorn that was on the property is also named after a family member.
Ah.
Wally?
Snake, rattle,
No,
and pop.
this is different.
Is there a longhorn?
different?
Oh, Longhorn Wally?
I
You
hope
already
Wally
got your
came
own-
over and helped old girl.
You already
and
got your own damn
gave her a
gas station,
rundown.
fam.
And
This is how we
place-
do things.
This place was actually really, really interesting, just with the history background of it and how the gal got started pretty much with nothing and branched out. Like, she went to college to become like one of the chemist people that mix
Yep.
for liquors or mixing things.
Yeah, see, I'm gonna go ahead and stop you right there. Don't tell me that you can't. You started with nothing. You didn't want nothing from the family and all that stuff. Bitch, you grew up in a different mindset. That's one thing. You had opportunities.
This gal is still alive today, and she was 21 when she went out to start the distillery.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying that I don't like that backstory. Like, oh yeah, I come from something, but like I didn't want nothing to do with, so I started my own thing
Well,
over here.
no, she wanted the wine to stay with the wine, and she wanted to go and start this herself.
No, I think it's cool and all that stuff. It's just like don't sit there and try to tell me that you started with nothing because you didn't. Okay.
Well, no, she ain't saying that she didn't start with nothing. She didn't start with nothing as far as like a distillery, a still, nothing.
Oh,
She
okay.
she didn't have nothing to start on, so
Oh.
she had to go
Well,
and
you know
figure
what
it out.
I'm
and
you know
make
what
it
I'm
herself.
saying.
But
You got the rich people that
Oh yeah, for
like
sure.
like your buddy Trump. That's like, oh no, I started with nothing, and now I'm like a billionaire business guy. And say, no, you started with a loan from your daddy. Don't tell me you didn't.
Started from the
I don't
middle
know that-
class
I don't-
bottom. Now we here.
I don't know the Donald Trump background story, if he started from nothing or
His
if he
dad
was
gave him like $1
inherited.
million loan to buy his first fucking
I thought
building.
he was like a time traveler from fucking 600 years ago.
But oh damn, we're out of time.
We are out of time.
But yeah, the third one was actually, or the fourth one that we went to, the preservation, the last one was actually really, really knowledgeable, and all the only difference is between bourbon and whiskey is bourbon has to be made with 51% corn mesh. That's how it stays, and it has to be made here in the States.
Whiskey, yeah.
Whiskey you can make out of states. Bourbon 51% corn mesh, and it has to be made here in the United States.
Yeah, I feel like I've looked that up before and I can never fucking remember it.
It seems like a hard.
So did you
thing to
find
remember
any? Did you
because-
find any bourbons that really blew you away, or
I found a few good ones. Like I said, the Elijah Craig, which I had here, which is actually really good.
yeah?
Larceny actually hits a little harder. From that was from Heaven Hill. And both of those are. Actually, the Larson bourbon was actually a good story to learn. The guy actually burnt down a bunch of shit. He was like one of
All of his enemies and
Bunch of she sheds.
Well, he was like
get those goddamn queer horns off my property.
he was actually one of the partners, and he would stay in one of the rick houses and he'd drink all the fucking booze, and they were like, what the fuck? And then actually burnt one down, and they were like, what the fuck?
Oh, so it was like when the mayor busted up all them homeless cities.
And so they ended up getting rid of him, buying him out, and then actually making a bourbon named after Larceny was named after him, and the dude's name is not on the
I
bottle.
wonder if they know it's called arson, not larceny.
Well, but he
I
was
believe
also
larceny is when you steal it.
yes, but he was also stealing.
True.
He was also stealing, and they found out that he was stealing beforehand, and then that's how they came up with the name. But then he ended up burning the fucking place down.
Yeehaw!
I mean, that's probably the only
Homebrewed
at the
story.
same
That's
time.
probably the only story of like somebody that doesn't own a business getting something named after him because they were stealing from the business.
That's what happened. He is no longer part because he was stealing it all.
one
He was stealing
bourbon,
profit.
one Wally, and 2 gins. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hell
There you
yeah.
go. I hope you guys enjoyed
It was a
these
good
fun
time.
stories of Louisville.
Louisville.
Shout out to Buckshot.
Yeah, which we were not nowhere near him.
I told you to call him and say hello.
I did not.
Hello, Buckshot. Brew was just in your neighborhood.
Why didn't you guys link up? Jeez.
Should have said
I'm
hello.
sure his schedule was busy. And
He could have brought you some bourbon to the gin spot.
right.
He'd have been in there buck slapping motherfuckers.
I said, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to learn.
Right.
Rue almost was for sure. Like had this other couple not been there, I would have definitely have said something.
Well, there you go.
I would have looked like the asshole.
We'll see you guys at the motherfucking Tom Wood float this weekend.
Tom Wood, please.
Yes, we will.
Tom Wood, please. We're going to be out there having fun with all the family, all the new friends, all the old friends, all the new faces, all the old faces. Because, you know, Tom Wood's old. Rue's old.
P's old. Dead Body Man's old.
We're all old. We're going to be out there. Come hang out with us, man. TomWoodFloat.com. No show next week, guys. It's going to be crazy. Plenty of videos, tons of content to come. You're not going to be without Replicon Radio. You're just not going to get to hang out with us like this. So we'll be back next time. Much love.
Peace out, y'all.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop de
Reese's
whoop to the whoop,
Pieces
whoop,
and
whoop.
all those
Send us
good things.
Pictionary ideas.
Bye.